machine learning, obviously thrives on data, right? The more data information that you have, the better the models are, the better the learnings are, the better the predictions are. Yahoo was one of the first internet scale companies, as we call it, more than 1 billion users. And I used to work for what was the media side of Yahoo business, right?
Okay.
Which is the news, sports, entertainment websites of Yahoo. And personalization of news was a large interest area, right? Like how can I serve personalized news for you? How can I cluster related news so news stories are not getting duplicated in your Yahoo news feed and so on. So what we're trying to do in Tata Health is we were trying to figure out the relationship between symptoms, how do you diagnose those symptoms, and then try to think what disease this may be, so that when a patient is transferred from our system to a doctor, it goes with a lot of background information or a prediction about what the user is probably going through and what's the disease that they are likely facing. And all of this we were trying to build using machine learning models. Look, Ria is Healthify's AI wellness assistant. It offers personalized coaching on be it nutrition, fitness, overall your well-being. As like any typical bot, we answer the user queries, but we also have a good recommendation engine. We can give recommendations on workouts. We give recommendations on foods that you should be consuming, and we also help understand metrics. As you can imagine, a lot of people have wearables, be it a watch, a Whoop nowadays, and so on. There's a lot of data that is getting collected for you. Ria can help you understand what's going on with that information, correlate it with your food, correlate it with your workout, and Ria can talk, right, in a natural language, like how you and I are talking right now. There is a lot of information crunching that is happening either offline, like even when you're not using the app, but your variable is sending information to our servers. We are able to understand and give you proactive nudges, right? So then again, generating those insights, getting those ready. So whenever you open the Healthify app, there is a ready insight for you that will tell you what you should be doing next. So all of this computing is happening in the background. All the information crunching is happening in the background. And we have this thing called Snap, which originally we built with AWS infrastructure, which is you send us a picture of what you're eating and we will detect what food is there in that picture, right? And then we now see tens of thousands of images coming in on daily basis to us, where people are completely okay to send this information to us and like it that we are able to track food based on the image automatically for them, right? So that's good to see that adoption from like people not wanting to give this information to now being like, okay, take it from my gallery, understand what it is and log it for me. So that's good to see. Let me start with what I believe will happen in the health space, right? No, because that's what I've been very closely working at. I think we will all build good, healthy habits, right? We will have somebody who is sitting in our pocket, talking to us all the time, telling, nudging about what's the right thing to do for our own health. And I think that will have huge repercussions because, if you take care of yourself, there's less need of medication, hospitalization, and so on, right? So overall, we will become a healthy, happy society with AI kind of constantly assisting you. Overall quality of life will improve. I think starting with traffic to sanitation to so on, cities infrastructure can get much better with AI. Education, it becomes easier and easier to learn new concepts and ideas using AI tools. I see both my kids learning and using things like GPT or other AI models to learn things, right? So it's essentially like a personal tutor for them that they can keep asking questions and get answers in a very natural teacher-like way. We will see the march of multimodality, as we call it. So right now it's doing text, images, and voice. I think it will reach video as well. So I think its ability to interpret what we are seeing as humans, I think that will get better and better. It will change a lot of industries. How we write code, how we deploy code, how we run, maintain code or software systems is what is going to redo entirely. It will obviously then move into spaces like robotics, manufacturing, and so on. Like, probably there is a day when we're going to have like universal factories, right? Factories can build or make anything, like how
Yeah.
we can build any software at this point of time. Eventually, I think space biology will probably be like the last frontiers where AI will make significant advancements for us. AI, I think, will become more intuitive, right? Like we were talking, it will become natural to interact with an AI. It'll become kind of embedded in our daily routines. We'll shift to a more conversation based interaction versus command based. Like, and Alexa was a good example in that sense. Like, do this. What's the time? Play this song for me. We'll move from there, saying, "Hey, I'm feeling happy," and then the AI system either sets the environment for you, plays some music for you, and so on. Right? So it'll become, I think, a lot more conversational. It'll understand a lot more context, emotion, things that you do not speak. It can understand kind of what's around you. It's evening, morning, and then kind of tune or update its responses based on that. So it'll be amazing to see that it can understand tonality, right? It can understand
Yeah.
change in voice, change in your expression on your face, and then adjust its responses accordingly. I think that will make it a lot more human like to say. We've been using AWS for almost since our inception. That's about the last 10, 12 years. We use SageMaker to build our own custom models. These are not large language models, but proprietary models that we have, so that
Yeah.
our insights are better than what a typical LLM can give you. So SageMaker we use significantly. We also use Bedrock. AWS Bedrock gives us this ability to talk to various language models, right? Be it Anthropic or otherwise, and it gives you like a layer of abstraction, so we can rapidly iterate and build new ideas, test it against different models, choose which one works best, and then kind of zero in on that, and then kind of deep down to the development using those models. So SageMaker, Bedrock, and the rest of the AWS services. And I think even on the AI front, if you look at it, introduction of Bedrock happened, very soon after kind of LLMs became
Yes.
mainstream, and then how Bedrock has been evolving over time. It's
Yeah.
been amazing to see. So I think we've been keeping up with all the new things that are happening in tech. The account team at AWS has been very instrumental in this. There have been meetings, conferences, roundtables that AWS has been hosting, organizing. They've been bringing in experts who can help us understand how other customers are using these services, including Bedrock. What's kind of the best practice to build some of these solutions. We've together, along with AWS, built a voice transcription system that is now out there for people to refer to. So it's been very useful and insightful to have this engagement going with AWS, where we are learning about how everyone is kind of trying to use AI in their use cases. So I think day in day out, this is what we are building at Healthify, right? So
Yeah.
every conversation that I have with the engineering team or the product or the design team, revolves around all the new things that are happening around the world. Personally, I follow a lot of people who are kind of influential people in this field on X, that's
Yeah.
Twitter. So that's kind of my way of keeping up with everything that is happening new in this field. One of the major shifts that has happened in the
Yeah.
world is today we have more uh, overweight people than malnourished people, right? So the
Yes.
scale of the size or the type of the problem is shifting from getting enough food to getting the right kind of food. We
Okay.
are within India. We are
Yeah.
also seeing a lot more health consciousness that is coming in people. Right, so
Yeah.
people are now more mindful of what they are eating, and that's what we are helping them with. So we see the trend that people want to become healthier, and then eating nutrition is is a key piece of that, and we are helping them with that. We are also seeing a lot of adoption for the AI based solutions, right? So we are happy to see that people in India are happy to engage with RIA, ask questions, while we know these are AI driven systems,
Yeah.
and so on, but then people are kind of willing to engage, get their answers, and obviously we then have coaches and so on if you want to discuss these things further. But it's good to see the adoption, specifically in India, for Healthify's AI driven solutions. 3 years ago, it started with wearables like continuous
Hmm.
glucose monitors,
Yeah.
watches like smart watches or fitness trackers became mainstream nowadays. If
Yes.
you see, a lot of people have those. So it's a good trend, right? The more you learn about yourself,
Yeah.
I think you can understand cause and effect. So far, health has been about general things like eat more protein,
Yeah.
or have food early, or avoid ABC. But only when you see it yourself through, say, a glucose monitor or through a smart scale that can tell you exactly if your fat is building or muscle mass is building,
Yeah.
I think then you learn that, oh, these things that I eat or these habits that I have an adverse impact on, say, my weight, my
Hmm.
sleep, glucose, right? And then there's no better teacher than that, right? Because then you are seeing it for yourself at your own body. So you will learn, and it does not require, wouldn't require any teacher, so to say. And then you will learn these things on your own, and take care of it. We're
Yeah.
originally building Snap using core image models. Over time, kind of, we've started using vision large language models and so on. So it's the array of systems. Some of it is running on AWS. Some of it is running on other infrastructure pieces. But yes, the original Snap was scaled on top of AWS infrastructure. We've had our faith with AWS, like I said, for over a decade.
Yeah.
It is a rock solid cloud infrastructure. Reliability, availability, performance have never been concerns, as with AWS. And it's good to see the agility, speed at which they have moved in the AI space. I
Yeah.
think their ability to bring state of the art good models, be it closed source, open source, onto the AWS platform at rapid scale is something that is very exciting to see. So for somebody who is a long term AWS customer, it's heartening to see that all the latest tools and tech is available on the platform that you are natively running all your code in. So that's been very exciting to see.